my beautiful lovies of the world, is me, Queen Nightmare, and I am going to do for Halloween. I absolutely love it, and I love all holidays. So, I want to do a countdown to Halloween. And then Halloween, me and a friend will do maybe a live stream, and we'll answer all your questions. This one is going to be, I reorganized everything. So this is going to take, found it right there. This new one that I found is called Drarry Halloween. Actually, someone in the comments told me this, and I will give them a shout out at the end of the video. This is the one shot. No, absolutely not. No, Harry said and jumped up from the ruby red couch he had been sitting on. While crossing his arms to his chest, he let out a heavy sigh. Why in the world do I have to wear that hideous thing, Hermione? He asked. The brown, bushy-haired girl sat on the couch next to where he had been sitting. He sighed again. Come on, Harry. I want to win this competition. Besides, the hideous thing, as you called it earlier, is just a cat fancy dress. What's wrong with that? It'll look good on you, trust me, Hermione said gently, trying to convince her dearest friend. Yeah, mate. Why don't you just wear the fancy thing? That fancy. Okay. It's kind of cute, said the gingerbread boy, which sat in the single couch and grinned at Harry. If it's cute, then why don't you wear it, Ron? Harry turned his head and glared at the ginger. It's just too embarrassing, Hermione. They are going to laugh at me. He continued and stared at the dancing fire in the fireplace before he sat back down on his seat. He covered his face with his hands, frustrated at his two best friends in his world were forcing him to wear a stupid cat costume for the stupid Halloween competition. Flashback. Attention everyone. Professor McGonagall. Can't read. Okay. Professor McGonagall raised her feminine voice as the great hall was full of the students enjoying their dinner meal. I'll just say their dinner and chattering with each other. After the spell of dark magic, students of Hogwarts had become friendlier than before with other houses. Some of the Ravenclaws were started to sitting at the Gryffindors. Some sat with Hufflepuffs and even with Slytherins. Though the Slytherins still sinister like before. As all of you are already aware of, next week is Samhain's Day. Samhain's Day, which is also known as Halloween Day in the Muggle world. Professor McGonagall continued as she was successfully gained all the students' attention. To celebrate the day, I and the other professors here have organized a competition that can be played by all of you. She smiled when all the students roared and cheered with overjoy. It's fancy dress competition. Each of you will be voting for the best costume at the party. That will be held on Halloween, one vote for one student," she said warningly, and glared at every student that caught her attention. Is there a prize for this activity, Professor?" Someone from Gryffindor asked. The eyes were fixed at on Dean Thomas, the dark-skinned guy sat next to Seamus Finnegan. I thought it was Seamus. Why does my dad say Seamus? Okay, Seamus Finnegan. She smiled at him. "Well, of course there is a prize, Mr. Thomas," she answered. "Professor Flitwick," she called and turned towards the goblin-sized professor. "This time, to show our students what the prize is," she said and smiled at him. "Very well," Professor Flitwick said, and jumped up from his oak chair. He walked to stand beside Professor McGonagall. Then he took out his wand and cast a spell that none of the students knew. After a moment, there was a bright golden color shimmering in front of the petite professor with a white feather quill heaved in sight. Some students gaped, their mouth hanging open, and some made an odd voice when they saw the quill. While they remained, expressed their confusion. "Does anyone care to tell us what this is?" Professor McGonagall asked, and scanning around the great hall. "It's a quill, Professor," answered some random student from the Slytherins. Before the other students started laughing and chuckling. "Mr. Goyle, I have you in my office tomorrow morning," she said with a serious voice as she glared at the bulky Slytherin, Gregory Goyle. "It's an Austrian quill, Professor." All the students laughing stopped and stared at Hermione Granger, the smartest student in Hogwarts. "It is the finest and very rare kind of quill that has been created in this world. The feather is a pure thing that come from sirens' wings, the beautiful yet dangerous creatures that enchant men with their music and voices, and the type of quill that was made of black panet, which is the world's rarest mineral gemstone, and is then covered with silvery blood that willingly given by a unicorn." She explained and smiled softly after she got a sign from Professor McGonagall to continue. All the students gave their own best awe expression while staring at the outstanding quill. Then Filch entered the Great Hall while pushing a trolley with a gigantic jack-o'-lantern on it towards Professor McGonagall. "Thank you, Mr. Filch," she said, and smiled at the caretaker. She pointed her wand at the lantern and muttered some spells, and suddenly the jack-o'-lantern lit up with tangering color. "This will represent the voting box. The student will put the name of the student they chosen in this lantern. The student that gets most votes will be announced as the winner. She stopped for a while. And the winner also will carry 100 points for his house. The great hall once again reverberated with disbelieving voices, and Professor McGonagall just smiled and turned around in her seat. "Harry, are you listening to me? Or not?" Hermione shook Harry's right arm and repeatedly gave him a confused look. Harry sighed. "Yes, Hermione, I am listening to your ridiculous idea," he grumbled. "Please, Harry, I just want you to have fun and enjoy the party. I'm worried about you. You always want to be alone, and you have to have that look of sorrow on your face. Even now. After Voldemort died," she said, concerned with her friend's behavior. "Look, Hermione, I really appreciate that you are worried about me that much and want to cheer me up, but I'm fine, really. I just merely want to be alone," he explained and emphasized the "merely" word. "I guess so. But really, Harry, if you have any problems, do tell us. You know we will always be there when we need someone, right?" She smiled and hugged him. Then Ron hugged them, and the Golden Trio laughed as if back in the first year. "Now, putting that aside, you still have to wear the costume, and that's final," Hermione said, pointing her slender finger at Harry. "No, Hermione, I don't want to. That's it. Find someone else to wear that costume, and end of story. Anyway, I am tired, so good night," Harry said, and started climbing up the stairs to his room without waiting any comments from his friend. "Let him go, Hermione," Ron said after Harry was off from their sight. He hugged his girlfriend from behind and smiled brightly at her, but she shoved him away softly. "No," she said. Ron sighed and tried to think about something to make his stubborn lover to surrender and stop wanting Harry to wear the cat costume. "Well, he might want to wear it if it's a warrior costume, or something that he makes him look manlier," he said, rubbing both of Hermione's arms gently but from behind. Hermione turned to face Ron and snickered. "If he doesn't want to wear it, I will make him, no matter what the consequences is. That's my promise," she said murderously, slow, and grinned widely. Ron gulped. "I don't like that expression, love. It looks devilish," he said, slightly flinching when she gazed at him before she smirked and walked to the stairs to go to her room. "Harry, mate, you just made a big mistake," Ron muttered to no one and scratched his non-itched head. That is the end. I don't know, but someone recommended this to me, and it said it was Drarry Halloween. Maybe, but dang, Hermione, don't mess with her. You know what I mean? I'm going to say this is a... Sorry, I had to readjust myself. It's by Harry Riddle Forever. And, I mean, that's really weird. I mean, it's interesting, but I'll do other Harry Potter ones for this whole month. I promise you that. Well, anyways, guys, I am going to, if I can find this person, because I'm very messy with everything. Blah, blah, blah. I can't find them, but if I do find them, I will screenshot what they said and put them in the video. I am so sorry. It's been a while, but I like being back. It's very fun. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Be happy, be healthy, and be loving to everyone. If you are not subscribed now, give my subscribe button down below some love. And I love you so much. Bye-bye.